But you do have an album coming out, so that's exciting.
Yeah, actually, this sounds really weird. I'm actually resting my laptop on the box of them that just arrived from America.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. I've got it here.
It's on vinyl too. Oh, great.
Yeah, it's really beautiful. We have our label Nefarious Industries got them printed in Czech, and they're just absolutely stunning.
Right.
I'm just really, really happy with it.
Yes, it seems like Prague is the place to get your records pressed these days, isn't it?
Yeah, it was really well worth the wait. It was a long time, but
excellent.
Yeah,
very cool. Very cool. So it's called Somnambulistic. I don't know if I can pronounce it. I know what it means, but I can't pronounce it that well.
That's okay. Actually, when I was living in Auckland, a friend of mine put on sort of a theatrical performance of Nosferatu.
Right.
Yeah, and in the silent film Nosferatu, he says, "And he rose in a somnambulistic dream," and I looked it up in the dictionary, and it's not there. But right. I thought it sounded really cool, and the thing is, when I name stuff, I'm not usually thinking, yeah, I'm going to market this and it's going to be easy to say, and memorable. I just want it to be cool and feel right. Cool. And so, people often are like, is that a right marketing choice, calling something that long that people can't say? And I'm like, I don't care. Whatever. Yeah. I've just taken to calling it Somnum, and people tend to know what
That's good. I like that. And so what appealed to you about the word itself and the meaning?
I just thought it was so beautiful, and I've always had issues with sleep and insomnia and dreamings, and actually I was really obsessed in high school with passing school because I really didn't want to be a failure, and I couldn't sleep. I had to stay up. And so I used to drink. I used to get alcohol just to knock myself out so I could sleep in order to pass school.
Right.
And I used to get these crazy night terrors all the time. I think probably due to like mix of anxiety. Yeah. So I think a lot of my songs that I've written have been inspired by that.
I got to admit, that's the first time I've heard anybody explain why they started drinking to do well in school.
I was such a dog. That's all I wanted.
Man, oh man.
I didn't want to fail because I thought I was really dumb, and I wanted to prove to everyone that I wasn't stupid and I could do something. And yeah.
Well, you've shown them all now, doggone it.
Yeah, I got that in CEA. I did.
There you go.
Yeah.
Very good. So the sound of the album is a bit different from what you've been doing before. So how do you describe it to folks when you want to tell them what you're up to these days?
Well, I think it feels like the sound that I've always really wanted but failed to get on recordings.
Right.
People who tend to come to my shows and stuff did tell me quite a bit. Really like listening to you live, but I've never really felt that thing that I get when I see you live on that recording. And I think that it's been a bit of a difficult road. I think it always is for every person that's trying to make stuff and show it to people. It's always a bit nerve-wracking and difficult. But specifically for this one, for something just clicked, and I felt that what I'd always wanted it to sound like on the recording, it finally did. It's very dreamy, dark, but it's not supposed to be a downer as such. It's supposed to be comforting.
Right.
It has it's quite atmospheric.
Yep.
A lot of different sounds. We did a lot of field recordings around Melbourne and around Australia before COVID. And why I say I've got a really great co-musician, Celebration Music on Instagram. He produced the album with me and does a whole bunch of incredible soundscapes with his guitar, with a bow.
Right.
Yeah, am I being a bit verbose?
You're
Am I going
supposed to. This is what the whole interview process is all about. You talk, we listen.
Okay. Okay.
The
Yeah,
more
I
you
had
talk, the better. Nobody wants to hear me.
uh, it's a couple of hours earlier in Melbourne over here than it is in New Zealand, and
Yep.
I've just had a really strong coffee,
Oh,
and
good on you. So yeah, it was like noon there, right?
I'm quite caffeinated. Yeah, it's about midday.
Yeah.
It's not super early, but yeah,
No.
it's about. A friend of mine actually said to me, "What are you up to today?" And I said, "Oh, I'm talking to Marty Duda from 13th." And she said, "Oh, are you gonna have are you gonna drink anything beforehand?" And I said, "Listen, one day I would love to come out like Nicolas Cage, like doing high kicks, high as a kite on cocaine and doing punches, but I can't trust myself. So I'm not go. I'm going to treat it like a job interview. I'm going to be
There you
responsible.
go. We'll see if we get the
Yeah.
job.
Yeah. No. That's really cool. Yeah.
Yes. So
I just plonked down on the floor.
I did
want to
do an
be
interview with
calm.
one person who was in her pajamas, but she
I
had
literally
great
am.
pajamas. Great pajamas. So I mean,
No, I honestly, I would never usually show this because they're probably a bit too hot. But these, I'm wearing the worst pajama pants in the world
oh
right
no,
now.
I see. Yeah, it's cool.
No. Honestly, I live in my pajamas now. There's no point in putting real clothes on. I'm
I
not
believe
going
you are not
anywhere.
alone in that respect. Nobody's showering, nobody's changing, nobody's doing anything.
Uh, I probably like over shower if anything. I need to be clean more than
Right.
anything. I mean, I do need to give myself pep talks, like,
Right.
come on, wash your hair. But yeah,
I haven't got that problem.
oh
Anyway.
yeah, lucky. It's good.
Yeah, right.
Problem.
So,
Um,
so tell me about we'll get back to the music here. So the sound that you're after, I was thinking, oh, it's really dark and it's very different from what you're doing. Although last time you were here at the 13th floor, you did a song called "I Hope You Die." So that's pretty dark, but in a different way. It's a different darkness than what you're doing now, I would have to say. Would you agree with me?
yeah, one thing about people who make stuff and then show them to other people. They're always evolving so much faster than you could get the stuff out there.
Yep.
It's kind of a bit it's really so hard because a lot of the time you'll be releasing stuff and looking at it and going, oh, gosh, why did I do this? Who was that?
Right.
Yeah, I look at that song and think that person was a lot younger than I am now. I don't know, I think I was probably just so frustrated by the world in general, pretty angry, but I'm not a really aggressive person at all. So it was kind of it was an odd choice. A lot of people tell me they really relate to it though, and they play it and feel good, so that's good. Somnum is supposed to be comforting more than anything without ignoring the darkness. So it's a lullaby album for adults.
Right.
It's not. Well, lullabies for kids are very much like hush little baby, nothing, nothing's gonna hurt you, every little thing's gonna be all right. Somnum is a little bit more realistic. It's trying to say, look, this stuff completely does exist.
Yep.
The world is a terrifying place, but together we're gonna get through this. You're gonna have to face this and process it.
Yep.
All the trauma and all the darkness that life brings, but let's see how we can protect each other and be there for each other.
Well, it seems very timely with it coming out in this environment. So
yeah, I mean, I think I wrote most of the songs before COVID came out. I think that there were already lots of global issues that I had in my mind
right.
At the time. And
what kind of global issues?
I recently had this most amazing review of the album from Ambient Light that came out recently. It was very thorough and it really blew me away, and I was quite overwhelmed. It was quite beautiful. They actually really astutely listened to the lyrics and thought, wow, I'm going to really pick this apart and put it to things that have happened. And I want to talk about it, but only very lightly, because I think that it can ruin it when you're too specific about what songs are about.
Right.
I might write a song about a cult, and then someone will say, "But I thought it was about Jesus," and I'll completely ruin it for them by telling them.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think themes that that were weighing heavily on my mind were things like I guess internet surveillance, censorship, I guess all the extreme racism and prejudice that you see all the time, just from looking at your internet. I mean, you're kind of bombarded with a lot of darkness, and I think that it's I think we can't ignore reality and everything, but I think it's a little bit too much, and it can weigh very heavily on people, and we needed to see a little bit less of that and a little bit more light coming through.
All righty.
Because yeah, I mean, was that, did I?
You made yourself perfectly clear.
Okay, good. Yeah, because I'm not, I tend to talk without thinking, and I'm trying to explain without giving too much away.
No, that's cool. Now tell me about the Melbourne Town Hall Grand Organ. Is it bigger? Is it bigger than the Auckland Town Hall Grand Organ?
Yeah. It was like a big, beautiful, magical beast. It felt like it had a soul.
Right.
It was just amazing. I felt so lucky just to be near it and touch it and make sounds with it.
So did you play it yourself?
In a sense, but basically what the process is, you go in at nighttime while it's not being used. So it's very eerie, and there are long hallways and corridors, and it's very dark, and there's lots of shadows, and it's just so beautiful. And there's a specific room that has a replica of the organ, a small one, and you go in there to compose and to sort of pre-record everything.
Yep.
In a MIDI, and then when you're ready to record everything, you take it into the grand hall and you sit with the same machine that's been taken from the room. Sorry, it's really convoluted. And then you kind of sit there and play around and press your pre-recordings and do whatever you want. So you're not actually touching the real thing that's up there.
I see.
It kind of comes through all the different pipes and stuff like that.
Yeah. And if we want to hear this organ, what songs? Is it throughout the whole record or on specific songs?
We use it as kind of sound effects on some of the songs, but the main ones are White Kitten and I think Beata Nocturna. I think those are the two main ones. Yeah.
White Kitten is the single that you got out already, right?
Yeah, the first one. Yeah.
Why did you choose that as the one to put out first?
A friend of mine, extremely talented artist. He's a cinematographer. He's a Kiwi as well. David Chan. He's just a workaholic. He's a work machine. He loves creating stuff. And in between lockdowns, he got in touch and said, "I'm gonna do something. Let's do something.
Right.
Let's shoot some stuff." And so we shot a video for it with another friend of mine who's in it, May. And we did it in my lounge, and it was just felt right because of the music video was just so pretty and so cool. And I think the song and the music video combined, it just felt right to release that one first.
Right.
Yeah.
It's followed by a tune called Grave Snuggler, which sounds pretty.
We changed that one up.
You changed it. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me the news. What has been changed?
We released People of the Snow as our second single. I recorded it with my friend Valentina, who lives in Berlin.
Right.
She recorded her part there and sent it over, and we made a video for it with a New Zealander called Melissa, who lives in Wellington. Yeah, what else can I say? She did it was a really fun experience collaborating. I've recently started editing music videos and stuff like that, which has been really fun.
Yeah. You also work with somebody
have,
from Macedonia, is that right?
Yeah, Noir.
Right.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine. He's very charismatic, interesting character.
And what did he do on the record?
He does a bit of synth in the song called Eyes Shut and some backing vocals for me. And he's also singing in the last song, Beata Nocturna.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I like the last one, especially. Yeah, the Bells and Nocturna. Very spooky sounding.
Yeah, actually, we're putting that song on a playlist for Cleopatra Records that's coming out soon. Yeah, one of the members from Black Tape from a Blue Girl got in touch. I'm not sure how, probably through Cleopatra, because we very nearly almost released the record with them. But instead we're just going to be on a playlist with that song. So I'm looking forward to that coming out.
So with you being on an American label, how is that going to affect the way you work with this record, and how will it affect you?
Really good. They work really closely with the American PR company Split, so they're helping us with getting a lot of our music heard and seen in America. We just recently released People of the Snow with Brooklyn Vegan, which is really cool. Also, being with an American label makes it, I think, a little bit easier to do organized tours and stuff in America, where when everything obviously opens up, if it ever does.
Yep.
I don't eat dairy or anything. I'm a vegan, but I've always been fascinated with grits.
Grits.
You know, Southern food. Yeah.
I do indeed. You know, there's a great song called "Grits Ain't Groceries" by Little Milton.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
What does that mean?
Grits ain't groceries, something. Yeah, it's a great song. It's from like the early '60s or something.
I'm sorry.
And Mona Lisa was a man. That's grits ain't groceries, and Mona Lisa was a man.
I remember when I was really, really little, my dad was watching this movie called My Cousin Vinny, and there's this very tiny section of it where they go to the southern states and they have some grits. I was talking to Greg from Nefarious, and he was saying, let's take you right down to Georgia, we'll get you some grits. And
there you go.
I want to go so bad. I want to tour America.
Collard greens with those, and you'll be rocking.
Yeah, I'm super keen. I'm so fascinated with the southern states. I've always been really, really keen to go visit at the very least. So
have you spent much time in the States? Have you toured around before?
I've never ever.
Really?
Really never been to America. No, but I am keen.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. So when you are able to perform, how are these songs going to present themselves to the audience?
Probably I'll get my guitarist and producer Daniel Cross, Celebration Music, and I've got an old friend from high school, Duncan Nunn. He lives in Wellington. He will play bass for me, and Daniel, I'll get him to do some bowed guitar and some atmospherics and soundscapes. And as always, I'll be playing acoustic guitar.
Right.
I do very, very simple folk picking guitar and singing. So yeah, I mean, it's been working out. We did a few live shows before this current lockdown, and it went really well. It was great fun.
Right. Did you think about how people are going to receive this kind of newish direction that your music has taken, who may have been following you before that? Have you gotten any kind of
I've had
reaction?
Everyone who's heard it so far has said, "Oh my gosh, finally the sound that we are expecting from you. Finally, this is the best thing you've ever done, recorded wise. Always wanted to hear this this way that you play live translated onto recordings like this, and they're just really happy that it came together finally. Yeah, I've always found it so hard. I don't know why. I think it's really, who records you is really important, and yeah.
So your man Daniel is the guy who mostly made the record with you, right? Your producer Daniel.
Yeah.
So what did he do? What kind of conversations did you have about the sound that you wanted to end up with?
I told him about the concept of the album and exactly what I wanted to achieve. And
I guess the concept would be the comforting dark lullabies. Is that right?
Yeah, which were already quite present, I think, in like the live sound. And I think that it was probably from taking direction from me, but also from his own head, what he wanted to hear from what from what I wrote in my songs. And I think a lot of it was him just being really talented and knowing exactly what to do. Yeah, so I was really fortunate. Yeah, he's very talented.
So in Australia, are you guys allowed to leave the country and go back and forth, or you can't go out at all, right?
No, I think the rules are in Europe at the moment, which is where we always intended on touring. Duncan is going to come as well, play bass with us. I think the rules are you have to be vaccinated. You have to have that sort of document.
Yes.
And we could be touring by this time next year.
Okay.
It's possible. I want to. I'm desperate to get back to Europe again. Europe was the best ever time I've ever had touring. It was just incredible.
Why is that?
Yeah.
What was so wonderful about it?
Just people are crazy. They're so friendly and so sweet and so unabashed. The way that the people behave in the audience is just so carefree. They don't care what anyone else thinks of them, and they will dance and laugh. And I loved being having girls come up to me and throw their arms around me and give me a string of sentences in a different language that I couldn't understand. It was just so beautiful. I just love how passionate and friendly and generous everyone was about music and community and
yeah.
And
so what kind of community do you feel like you're part of a community in Melbourne, a musical community?
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. The type of music that I really am drawn to going seeing live is I love black metal. I love I'm not sure if you've heard of Stylistic.
Don't think so. No.
Just is very sort of dark folk kind of stuff. That's very very black metal, and a lot of my friends are sort of in that community.
Cool.
I think that's the nearest I can do to explain it. I feel like I'm really lucky to have a little community in Europe as well. Mostly just sort of dark music.
Yep.
Yeah, Valentina Vale.
We're gonna get a black metal album out of you at some point.
Probably not. I mean, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's funny how when you really love a specific genre, it doesn't necessarily mean that you can do it yourself.
That's all right. So if you do come here in January for this festival and do some live, what can we expect from that, do you think? What's going to happen?
So if we come over and do the festival, I think we're playing the last night. We were headlining. It's the Dance Macabre Ball, I think. Should be lots of fun. Basically, I think it's going to be a lot of goths. I'm really hoping that people can travel from Auckland, and I've got some people from Sydney that want to come over as well, but I'm not sure how likely that's going to be. But it's just, I guess I haven't been to Wellington in a long time, but from all the Gathering Shadows, the kind of goth-esque gigs that I went to as a teenager. It's just going to be a lot of people in black.
That's usually what happens. Yes.
I think it's going to be beautiful though, and a lot of talented bands playing,
Yep.
and quite theatrical. Yeah.
So the record's
And
out. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say I would encourage everyone to dress up as much as they can, because you never know when we're going to be locked down again.
That's a fact. It seems like I said, we thought we were out of the woods months ago, and then suddenly here we are, and there's no end in sight at the moment. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking, from what I've heard and what I've read, I think I'm optimistic because of vaccination.
Yeah.
I think that, I mean, it doesn't stop you from getting it, but
it helps.
It feels like the only way. Yeah, I mean, it helps you not die.
That's always a plus.
Yeah, I think that it's pretty much the only way, and we have that, and that's something to hold on to and look forward to, hopefully. Yeah.
So what have you got planned for Friday when the record comes out?
Oh, have a cup of tea.
There you go.
Put on some nice pajamas.
There you go. At least you got records to play.
Yeah. I think I've got some really nice footage from earlier this year that we played some live shows. Maybe we can put out something like that, or
right. That'd be cool.
Yeah. We have a music video that we shot for the third single that's coming out tomorrow, actually, in America.
Which is what?
Walk Against the Wind.
Okay.
We walk against the wind. We swim upstream. We look towards the moon. We move, we don't know.
And it was shot by my same friend, David. We went out to it's called the Big Drift. Have you heard of it?
No.
It's the middle of it's like the desert. It's incredible. It's huge sand dunes, and they look like pyramids. It's really beautiful. I wasn't really quite sure at the time what I was getting everyone into. We had to walk through these sand dunes and up something that was this for 40 minutes to get there.
Cool.
And we didn't have a plan. So he just shot a whole bunch of footage and put it together. And
immediately I'm thinking of the poor cameraman who's got to tote the gear around while you guys.
That was me. I mean, I wasn't the camera guy, but I was carrying we had to carry stuff. I'm glad people are still talking to me. You know,
right.
My friend Stephanie is in the video, and she was in front of me, and every time her foot went into the sand dune, it went like this, and then her other foot, and she kept on saying, "Okay, so you're gonna catch me if I fall, right? I'm gonna fall backwards." Yeah, I put her through so much. It's a really brightly shot music video, but the song itself is actually probably one of the saddest ones on the album. Yeah.
All right. And when you say saddest, so is it difficult for you to go to those places where you wrote those songs, especially if they're particularly sad, when you're making videos or performing them or whatever?
No, not really. I think I don't know. I'm one of those people that finds all that strength in that vulnerability, I suppose, you know. I think there are people that find it really, really hard. It's like saying sorry, you know. Yeah. Sometimes people find it really hard, and it's the worst thing in the world. But whereas, like, if I do something wrong, if I mean it, I find it easy to say, "Look, I'm sorry." I think it's the same thing, I think, it's not hard.
Very cool. Well, thank you for spending so much time talking to me about the new record. I hope you have a great Friday when it comes out. I can't wait to see the video tomorrow, so that'll be exciting. And hopefully you'll be here in New Zealand sometime soon, and we'll get to see you perform these songs.
Oh man, I really hope so. I'm so homesick right now.
Really?
I can't wait. Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah. Well, hopefully things will I say normalize. I don't even know what that means anymore, but there you go.
Yeah, I hope things will become less severe for
Yeah,
sure.
that's a good way to put it. Very good. Well, have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Thank you so much for having me.
Now you can have some lunch.
Yeah.
All right.
Balance out with caffeine. All right.
There you go. See you. Bye-bye.